I'm Layla. Welcome to Raidlore Stories. Today's lore story is going to be for Holsring. Now, I gotta say, I'm really curious about this one. Considering he's in the Sacred Order, and I mean, his mouth is basically looks like it's bound shut, and he's got like this, yeah, you see that like dark skull thing that's surrounding him. So I'm really curious about this one. Let's go. Holsring the Witchfinder, Holsring the Silent, Holsring the Penitent, Holsring the Mad. Each is a fitting sobriquet, for Holsring is all of those things and more. A grim pilgrim, he wanders the roads of Teleria, traveling from one place to another on a never-ending journey. He is a tall man, clad in piecemeal armor and a battered coat, his mouth sewn shut with coarse black string. His scarred features are eerily blank, even as he wields his sword and war-pig in battle, hacking down his foes with brutal efficiency. Few know Holsring save by reputation. He rarely stays in one place for long, preferring his own company to that of others. Even on the rare occasions he seeks sanctuary in a chapter house of the Sacred Order, he rarely mingles with the inhabitants, choosing instead to spend his time alone in silent meditation. Or perhaps, as some believe, in contemplation of his many sins. Just what those sins might be, none truly know their full extent. There are rumors, of course. There are always rumors surrounding men like Holsring. Some believe that he was once a witchfinder, an inquisitor tasked with rooting out heretics and skinwalker covens. Others claim he suffers under a vow of silence for some ancient treachery or murderous act, that his wandering is not by choice but an act of penance. A few believe that he's not a man at all, but instead one of the Lightbringers, the divine servants of Lumea incarnated in mortal form. No one knows the truth of Holsring's identity, save the man himself. On the few occasions that an inquisitive, not to mention courageous witness, has tried to broach the subject with the silent wanderer, they've received no answer save an unsettling stare. Even his age is up for debate, for there are certain records dating back to the founding of the Sacred Order itself that mention a warrior suspiciously similar in appearance and demeanor to Holsring as being present during both the Second Great War and the Red Crusade. Regardless of his origins, Holsring is not well loved by the leadership of the Sacred Order. While he is not considered an out-and-out renegade, he is never welcomed in the chapter houses and monasteries where he seeks shelter, and for good reason. His silent presence has an unnerving effect on those around him. Many of those who have endured an evening in proximity to Holsring complain of nightmares the next morning. Those who have spent more than a few days in his company often suffer from sleepless nights and persistent fears of being watched or hunted by something or someone they cannot name. Thankfully, to those who might accompany him or fight beside him, Holsring seems to be aware of his effect on others and does what he can to ameliorate it. He isolates himself where possible, and when that he cannot do that, he departs at the first opportunity, so long as he's accomplished what he came to do. But nothing can make him depart until he's completed his task, be it uncovering a nest of undead or something much more incomprehensible to those around him. How Holsring identifies what he must do is unknown, but every member of the Sacred Order knows that his presence heralds an unseen threat. Often Holsring will see to these matters himself. On the rare occasion he requires aid, he will visit the nearest Sacred Order chapter house to communicate his needs to the deacon or Mother Superior. They will then dispatch as many warriors as they think are required to aid their visitor in his quest, however grudgingly. Holsring never acts as the leader of these expeditions, instead leaving such responsibility to others. Indeed, he barely acknowledges his allies, even in the middle of combat, as he advances to where the fighting is thickest. He fights without honor or mercy, chopping through the ranks of the enemy with an unnerving precision and a horrid efficiency that would sicken even the most brutal soldier of the Sacred Order. He batters his foes to the ground, hamstrings them or guts them, leaving them to bleed out. To Holsring, an enemy is merely an obstacle, something to be removed as quickly as possible, and when the battle is done and the task complete, he departs without a sign of thanks. It's a credit to Holsring that despite his grim reputation, he has never refused in his requests for assistance or sanctuary. The masters of the Sacred Order understand that a warrior like Holsring is an invaluable asset. Despite his off-putting manner, though he is not their most beloved servant, he is a faithful one and a proven enemy of darkness in all its guises. The Sacred Order has precious few of those in these troubled times. All right, well, that was interesting for him. Like, I feel like they kind of didn't really dive too much into his background for, like, the mouth and the dark floating head skull thing. I think I would have liked to see a little bit more of that, but again, I do think it kind of fits again with the Sacred Order. Guys, drop some comments down below what you think for the lore story for Holsring, and thanks so much for watching.